Hey friends. Okay, so welcome to our next unit. This unit is entitled Angles and Parallel Lines. Just grabbing my writing pad here. And this is a fairly quick unit. There's only going to be, I think, 4 lessons altogether. And then this will be it for the unit, okay? So we're shifting our attention to a little bit of geometry. Today, our focus is on the types of angles that we have and how to use a protractor. Okay, so let's get going. First of all, an angle is formed when 2 rays meet at a point. Okay, now a ray, all we mean by a ray is that it's starts and never ends. Okay, so if I was to do this and put a little arrow on that, okay, that would be a ray. And so then if I had 2 rays, okay, that meet at a fixed point, which is right here, okay, that is an angle. So the angle that we're talking about would actually be this guy right here, or it could be this guy right here, okay? And this point right here, the only other word I want to talk to you about there, that's called the vertex, okay? The vertex. Okay, awesome. So let me just clear that, and I'm just going to hide myself just so that those of you without the book can see that full definition. Okay, so now we're going to go through just a few different types of angles and what they mean, okay? Again, if I'm going faster than you're writing, you can always pause me, shut me up, catch up, and then bring me back, okay? Okay, so an acute angle. An acute angle is greater than 0 and less than 90 degrees. Okay, greater than 0 and less than 90 degrees. A right angle is 90 degrees, exactly. Okay. An obtuse angle is now bigger than 90 degrees, but less than 180. Okay, so anything in between 90 degrees and 180. Okay, then we have a reflex angle. A reflex angle is larger than 180, so it goes from above 180 up to 360. Okay. And then a straight angle would be exactly 180. Okay, a straight angle is called a straight angle because it makes a straight line, right? If this was my point right here, we would say I'm going from this arm to this arm if I had arrowheads on that side there, okay? All right, easy peasy. So class example number 1, I'll just hide myself for a quick sec. You want to classify these guys as acute, right, obtuse, straight, or reflex. So just what camp are they in? Okay, so 123, that is going to be the greater than 90 and less than 180. So we're going to call that an obtuse angle. 223, that's now bigger than 180, less than 360. So we'll call that a reflex angle. 23 degrees, that's now going to be in between 0 and 90. Okay, so in between 0 and 90, we're going to call that acute. And then 180, straight line, that's my straight angle. Okay? Nothing too stressful, hopefully, yet. Okay? All right, so you're going to try on my own. You can pause me and just try number 1 and then come on back when you're done. All right, thanks for coming back. Let me just hide my face for a sec. The next thing we're going to talk about is a referent angle. Now, a referent angle refers to standard angles that we can kind of get a good picture of in our head so that we're able to estimate the measure of a particular angle. Okay, so these are kind of your main referent angles. The 90 I would want you pretty comfortable with. That's, it's the edge of a piece of paper would form a 90-degree angle. 45 degrees would be halfway to the 90. So hopefully those ones we are going to feel really comfortable about, this guy and this guy. Okay, I'm going to put a smiley face on these guys. You should be very comfortable with those guys. Okay, I might put maybe a not sure face on that guy. It is half of 45 essentially. Okay, so if you think about how big the 45-degree angle is, what would be half of that? And that would be the reference of 22.5. Okay. Then the 60 and the 30, at the moment, you might have kind of a straight lip on both of those guys. Hopefully soon you'll have a happy face on them. But essentially, if you think of 90 degrees from 0 to 90, if you divided that into 3 sections, 30 would be 1/3 up to 90, and 60 would be 2/3 up to 90. Okay, so 30 and 60 are kind of good to be comfortable with because they help you realize, oh, that's bigger than 45, but we're not at 90 yet. So then 60 is going to be kind of your good guess there. Okay. Or that's less than 35 or 45, sorry. But it's not quite half less, then you're going to be thinking the 30 degrees. Okay. All right. Awesome. So class example number 2, estimate the measure of each of the marked angles below. Now, again, you have to pay attention to the fact that this goes in, you got to follow this little curve here, okay? So what that's saying is the angle is on the inside here, as opposed to this guy, the angle's on the outside, okay? Now, what I would do with these guys is I would say, okay, I'm comfortable to say right there, that's my 90 degrees. Okay. And then maybe even you want to do another one if you're estimating and just draw a straight angle there. I would say that is about 45 degrees more, right? So let me just switch colors here to show you. So I've got 90 from here to here, and then I would say that's 45. So I am going to guess 145 there. Or sorry, 135 degrees there. Okay. 90 plus 45 is 135. That would be my guess. Okay, my estimate. Okay, down here, I'm going to look actually this way first, and I'm going to draw a 90-degree angle. And I'm going to say, hey, I'm pretty confident to say that this is, sorry, I just got to get my ink going here. I got to get, this is 90. I feel like this is a good maybe 30 degrees. So altogether, that would give me 120. You see what I'm doing there? Now, be careful, friends. The answer is not 120 because it's actually the outside portion, not that inside portion. Okay, it's from here to here. So what I would think of is a full circle is 360. So I would subtract the piece that I just got, and that would get me a good estimate of that. Okay, so what's that going to be? 240 degrees would be a good estimate there. Okay. And this guy, again, if you want just for your bearings, I'll put in the 90-degree line here. Whoops, probably right about there. Okay, I'd say that's more than halfway, right? Halfway would probably be like more like that. So I'm thinking, hey, the good estimate of that guy is probably 60 degrees. Okay, 60 degrees. All right, let's see how I did. See if I got the same thing that I put on my slide a little while ago. 135, that was my estimate there. 240 was my estimate. Yay, see if I'm 3 for 3, and 60. Good. We did good, guys. We did good. All right. Now you're going to try on my own 2 and 3. You can give that a shot. Give me a pause. Try those. Check your answers. Come back and see me. All right. Awesome. Now we're going to take a look at reading from a protractor. Now, this can get complicated. I'm going to try and simplify things as we go, just to make sure you're comfortable with it, okay? But it's really, really important that you don't start reading an angle until you have your protractor exactly where you want it, okay? When reading an angle from the left side of the page, you need to use the outside numbers by lining up one side of the angle with 0 and placing the vertex of the angle at the center. When reading an angle from the right side, you're using the inside numbers. I don't want you to, let me just hide myself for a sec so you can see all those words, but I don't want you to get boggled down by all those words either, okay? What I want you to do is place your protractor on your paper so that the center of the protractor is at the vertex of your angle, okay? Then you must make sure one line of the bottom of your protractor is on the line of your angle. That line will always be 0. So whichever scale starts at 0 for you with that line, that's the scale you're going to read, okay? Don't get boggled down as to which one, whether I'm on the left or the right, just find your 0, Okay, so here's a protractor. And we are going to go through all these angles together. The first one we're going to do is find angle CAB. Now, CAB means I am going to draw a line from C to A to B. So I'm going to connect those three dots, and that's going to be my angle. Okay, so my angle there is going to be this guy here. Okay, so look at what we did. We put the vertex on my, the vertex right at the center of my protractor. Okay, and one line is against the 0 line. Well, that's going to be my 0 then. Okay, so I'm reading the outside scale right now because I have to start at 0. So I'm going up and I see 40 right here. That's going to be 40, 41, 42, 43. That my line's a little off of the original, but that looks like 43 degrees to me. Okay, 43 degrees. Okay. Awesome. I just need to erase that ink. Okay, perfect. Now let's go to the next one. The next one is angle DAB. So again, that's going to be going from D to A to B. So that would be this angle here. Okay. Okay, so again, I'm still have the vertex right at the edge, which would be the A point here on the protractor, but right in the center of the protractor. Sorry, I really shouldn't have said edge there. Right in the center of the protractor. That's where you want your vertex to be. And then one of your lines has to follow through the bottom line of the protractor. Okay, again, I either have a choice to start at 0 or 180 here. Obviously, I want to start at 0. So I'm going to read the outside scale again. So I'm going all the way up. This would be 110 on the outside scale, 15, 16, 17. And I've got that 117 right there. Okay. Awesome. Next one, EAB. That's going to be here to here to here. Again, notice my vertex is on right in the center point of that protractor. I have one line lining up against the bottom line of my protractor. So one line of my angle against the bottom line of my protractor. They need to be right on top of each other. And then I start at 0. So I haven't really moved this guy yet. So 0 is the outside one. So I'm heading along the outside all the way up to 160, 161, 162, 163. Okay, so angle EAB is 163. Now we're going to go CAF. So that's from C to A to F. So that's this guy here. I want you to notice I still have my vertex at the center, but now I'm on a different side of the protractor. So I've lined up with this bottom line of the protractor, and I need to read where 0 is. I need to start at 0 always, okay? So this time 0 is on the inside scale, so I got to read the inside scale, okay? So going along the inside scale, this is going to be 130, 135, 136, 137, okay? 137 there. Then DAF, so that's going to be from here to here to here. Again, I've lined up with the bottom line of my protractor. The vertex is right at the center, and I'm going to read what says 0. Okay, 0 is the inside. I'm going around, and I've got 60, 61, 62, 63 degrees there. And then EAF, kind of a little guy over here. We'll highlight him. Okay, and starting at 0 still, I have to have one of my lines of the angle on the bottom line of the protractor. This is the last time I get to say this, so I want to make sure I say it enough times. And I have to have my vertex at the center of my protractor. So again, because the 0 is on the inside, I'm reading the inside scale. This would be 15, 16, 17. Okay, 17 degrees altogether. How you doing? All right. This can be frustrating at the beginning, okay? Move your protractor around, get it comfy before you start reading the scale. So there's a couple things going on with protractors. You have to get it situated so that The vertex is right in the center of your protractor, and the bottom line of your protractor has to be on one line of your angle. Then, once that's lined up, once that's locked in place, you have to decide which scale you're reading, the outside scale or the inside scale. And you always want to start at 0. That's the thing to remember, okay? All right, so you're going to try on my own number 4 and 5. Hopefully you paused me and did that. Okay, so class example number 4, we're going to try together. I'll just hide this for 1 sec. Construct the following angles and classify them as either acute, right, obtuse, straight, or reflex. Okay, so 85 degrees is the one I'm starting with. So I'm going to draw a line here at the 0, and then I'm going to have my vertex right there, and I'm going to go up to the 85 mark right there, right? Because I'm reading the inside scale right now. So this is 80, this would be 85, almost to 90, but not quite. So it would look like that. Okay. Now, when I go to draw an angle, now I'm going to lift my protractor away and actually draw that angle in. And I need to have the little curve there that shows the rotation that I'm doing. Okay. Now, this would be an acute angle. Okay. This would be an acute angle. Okay. And then the 225. Again, I'm going to start right here along this bottom line. I'm going to keep my vertex right at the center. And because I'm starting here, I'm reading the inside scale. I'm going to read the inside scale all the way to 225. Well, this is going to take me to 180. So that's no good, right? How could I do something bigger than 180 with a protractor? Well, what I could do is I could find kind of the complement angle there. So I could go, hey, what's 360 minus 225? Okay, 360 minus 225 is 135. So if I just mark the 135, so if I started at 0 here and went all the way to 135 right there, okay, and then I connected that, remember I have to pass through the vertex. So might as well draw that in. I got that far. Let's go there and there. Okay. Now remember, that's 135. But then what I can do is say, okay, I'm actually going to go from here to here. And that would be 225. Okay. Because I know that the 135 and the 225 have to add together to make a full circle. Okay. So I'll show you that one more time. Here's my 135. Then I took it away and I made my rotation be on the outside instead of the inside. Okay, and then that would be classified as a reflex angle. Okay, awesome. Now you're going to try number 6. And that'll be it for this first lesson. Okay, so hopefully the classification isn't hard. I know the use of the protractor is a little bit complicated, so give yourself some time and do lots of practice with that. I want you to feel really, really good about how to set it up and then how to be comfortable reading what scale you read, whether it's the inside or the outside. You always got to start at 0. Okay. All right, my friends, you're doing awesome. Get your homework done. Make sure you check your answers and make sure you come check in with me if you have any questions. Take care, everyone.